Columbia, SC. The Republican Party's once crowded 2024 presidential primary field has suddenly shrunk to just a handful of viable candidates. But a day after Sen. Tim Scott of South Carolina stunned much of his own staff by suspending his campaign. It's unclear whether the GOP is any closer to uniting behind a clear alternative to former President Donald Trump. Instead, the battle for second place between Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis appears to be intensifying. And some lower-tier candidates insist on fighting for relevance despite mounting pressure to drop out of the race altogether. Trump's team, meanwhile, is cheering for second place with just 2 months until Iowa's first caucuses on Jan. 15. Still, there were new positive signs Monday for Scott's South Carolina rival, Haley, who was rising in the Republican race even before the senator's sudden announcement. Billionaire investor Stanley Druckenmillier, who gave money to Scott, pledged his support to Haley in an interview Monday, speaking publicly for the first time about the 2024 race. He emphasized need for the GOP to unite behind former United Nations ambassador before primary voting begins. Speaking to Associated Press, Druckenmillier said, "I hope that the field will now be opened and that Nikki Haley will have a one-on-one meeting with former president. As long as the field is cleared before the actual primaries. I think that's all that matters." But DeSantis shows no signs of leaving as he focuses on Iowa's primary caucuses. Andrew Romeo, a spokesman for the Florida governor, said he has a new opportunity in Iowa after Scott and former Vice President Mike Pence dropped out of the race. He noted Iowa's influential group of religious conservatives who have welcomed DeSantis' strong opposition to abortion and LGBTQ rights as part of his aggressive war on wokeness. Just last week, DeSantis received his biggest endorsement of the 2024 campaign, picking up the endorsement of Iowa Gov. Kim Reynolds, who promised to give the Florida governor her friendly charm and statewide political machine. Tim Scott and Mike Pence have been increasing resources in Iowa to appeal to evangelical supporters. And unlike Nikki Haley, Ron DeSantis is making headway with those voters, Romeo said. In the coming weeks, these voters will see that Nikki Haley's record and values do not match her rhetoric. Nikki Haley entered GOP field at start of race and became one of first to challenge Donald Trump. She was once governor of South Carolina and also U.S. ambassador to United Nations during Trump administration. More than 6 months into her campaign, Haley is still trying to show voters what makes her different from others in the Republican primary field. AP's Meg Kinnard explains more. The prominence of the Haley-DeSantis feud underscores how quickly Republicans are winning in 2024. Compared to when Trump was last on the ballot. At this time in the 2016 primary season, 13 Republican presidential candidates